Hello, my loves. It is time for another math lesson. We're going to be moving now on into topic 16, which focuses on perimeter. So I know we haven't learned about perimeter in class, but because of athletics, you ought to be experts by now. But let's go ahead and let's focus on our LEQ for the next couple days. Our question is, how can I find the perimeter of a polygon? So let's take a second, let's break down some of those words. Let's focus here first on perimeter. When we're asking about the perimeter, what are we talking about? What is a perimeter? A perimeter is the rim, the outside edges of a shape. So when we're finding the perimeter, we are figuring out how long or how much altogether all of the sides are when you add them up. So that was our perimeter. Remember, that is the distance around a shape. And specifically, it asked about polygons. What is special about polygons? What do we know about polygons already? Polygons have at least 3 sides, 3 or more sides. I'll add a little plus. We know that polygons are closed shapes, and we know that they have only straight lines. So all of the shapes we're going to be talking about will have more than 3 sides, they will be closed, and they will only have straight line sides. So we'll be finding the distance around all of these different shapes. So let's take a second now to go over our anchor chart. Da-da-da! So this anchor chart will also be uploaded in our anchor chart album on our math folder. So first of all, we start off just with a basic definition. A perimeter is the distance all the way around an object. Now to find the perimeter, we use addition. We add up all the sides, every single side, to find the perimeter. So here, if we are looking at the perimeter of this little triangle, we would need to add up all 3 sides. So P, perimeter, equals 5 plus 5 plus 7. So for this shape, what would the perimeter be? If you guessed 17 inches, you are correct, because 5 plus 5 is 10, and 10 plus 7 gives us a perimeter of 17 inches. Don't forget to give it that unit of measure. We need to know 17 what? 17 cats, 17 miles, 17 inches. So sometimes when we're finding the perimeter, they will not give us every single side length, and we have to figure it out for ourselves. So looking at a shape like a rectangle or a parallelogram, you can look at the equal opposite sides to find those missing lengths. So looking at this orange rectangle, what would be my length for this top line right here? It should be 7 feet, because 7 feet is what the bottom line is, and these two are equal opposites. How about this side over here? What would be the side length? It should be 5 feet, because this side is 5, so if this side is 5, that means that side is 5 as well. Now, that's pretty simple, but they're not always going to be parallelograms where we can look at equal opposite sides. So to find other missing lengths, you can add up the sides you know, and then subtract that amount from the perimeter to find that missing length. So looking at this blue polygon over here, we know most of our sides. We see 2 feet, 2 feet, 4 feet, and 3 feet, but we don't know this ugly green question mark side. We don't know how long that is yet. So to figure it out, they told us that the perimeter for this shape was 13 feet. So all I have to do is add up these different side lengths. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. 8 plus 3 equals 11. So now to find this missing length, all I have to do is subtract my sum of 11 from my perimeter total of 13. 13 minus 11 equals 2. So we know this green little question mark is 2 feet. The last little steps down here say for parallelograms, if you are finding a missing width or missing length, you need to once again add what you know. We always add up what we know. Then we subtract it from the perimeter. And for parallelograms, we have to divide it by 2. Why would we need to divide by 2 if we're finding a length for a parallelogram? You can look at this little picture to help jog your memory. The reason that we would need to divide by 2 is because we're finding actually 2 side lengths. So in this example, they gave us a perimeter of 10, and we have 2 over here, but we don't know our top and our bottom, so we would have to add first 2 plus 2. We added what we know. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Next, we subtract what we know from the perimeter. 10 minus 4 equals 6. And then last, we divide it by 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So our missing top and bottom would each be 3. I've also got some examples right over here that we can work through together as well. So sometimes they will just give you a shape on graph paper and you will have to figure out what the perimeter is by counting. So here, if I was counting this perimeter, I count 1. So this side is 1. And then to count my length here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know this side length is 4. And if this bottom is 1, I know the top is 1. This side is 4, I know this side is 4. So now all I have to do is add them up. 4 plus 1 equals 5. 4 plus 1 equals 5 again, so I know 5 plus 5 equals 10. My perimeter is 10. Now we also could have just counted around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once again, we know that our perimeter here for our orange shape is 10 units. Now over here, we've got a little square. We only labeled one side. Why would I only need to label one side of a square? Because all the sides are the same for squares. So with this square, if this side is 2, I know this side is 2, I know the top is 2, and the bottom is 2. Now all I have to do is add them up. Or in this case, I could skip count as my addition strategy. 2, 4, 6, 8. So I know my perimeter, P, equals 8, and my unit here is yards. So it would be 8 yards. Now sometimes our polygons aren't going to be rectangles, and we will just have to count up the sides just like we did with our orange one. So for this one, I would just count 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Now I could choose to add all of these up. 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, 1, 1. Or once again, I could just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So here I know my perimeter for my purple shape would be 14 units. Our last two examples are going to both be rectangles. Now for this one, I want to find the perimeter, but they only gave me the top and the side lengths. What length should I put for this bottom? 7 feet, because we know that our top and our bottom are equal and opposite in rectangles, and we also know that about the side as well. So if this side is 3 feet, that means this side should be 3 feet. Just going to use the symbol for feet there instead of writing it. Didn't have much space. Now to find the perimeter, once again, all I have to do is add up 7 plus 3 plus 7 plus 3. Now that's a lot of numbers to add up all together, so I'm going to just break it down. 7 plus 3 is 10, 7 plus 3 is 10 again, 10 plus 10 gives me 20. And our unit is feet, so I know my perimeter for this shape is 20 feet. And my last problem, they gave us a perimeter of 10, and we know one side length, so we have to figure out the top and the bottom here. So I'm going to go back to my anchor chart. I'm going to follow the steps that are written down. First, I'm going to add up what I know. If this side is 2, that means this side is 2 as well. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Next, I need to subtract what I know, 4, from my perimeter. So I've got 10 minus 4 equals 6. And then my very last step is going to be dividing by 2, because remember, we're actually solving for 2 side lengths, not 1. So I'm going to take that 6 divided by my 2 sides equals 3. So 3 inches would be my missing side length.